Hello and welcome to Moneycontrol. I'm Rachita Prasad. Last evening, Tata Power reported an 11% growth in its consolidated net profit and a 27% growth in its revenue for the fourth quarter of the year that ended in March. The company, which plans to invest 60,000 crore rupees over the next 3 years, has a lot going. To find out more about the company's plans and to understand which way the company is headed, we have joining us today Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Praveer Sinha. Welcome to Moneycontrol, Dr. Sinha.
Thank you, Rachita. Always a pleasure to be on
Great to have you here. Great to have you here. Mr. Sinha, the numbers look good, and I'm sure you have had interactions with analysts as well. Help me understand, the last year was a very peculiar one because the power demand stayed strong for most of the year. In fact, towards the end, in March, April, we have seen power demand of upwards of 10%. Given this backdrop, how has this translated into your performance in FY24?
I think what we need to see is that there has been very consistent performance. This is the 18th consecutive quarter of increase in PAT that we have seen. And last year and also last 3 years, there has been a huge increase in the power demand. We have seen in last 2 months also that the demand has gone up upward of 10%. And I do expect that this year also there would be huge increase in power demand. There are, of course, 3 reasons. One is there is a lot of industrial activity that has picked up. Similarly, a lot of commercial activity has picked up. And also, I think because of the heat wave conditions, more and more usage of air conditioning is taking place even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We also see that affordability of people have improved, and whereby more of air conditioning is being utilized. So I think there has been a general increase in power consumption, and Tata Power has benefited from this by way of setting up more new capacities. A lot of capacity additions have happened in our renewable project, and more are lined up in this year and subsequent years. In fact, we have 4.5 gigawatt of operating assets in renewable, and another 5.5 is under implementation, which will get completed in next 12 to 24 months. And similarly, we have seen that to cater to this renewable capacity, more transmission lines are coming, and Tata Power has won 2 bids recently, and last year we had won 2. So all these 4 projects are under implementation, and more capacity additions will happen in renewable. More transmission facilities have to be created, and Tata Power will play a very active role in that. Distribution, we have seen in Orissa, the operations have stabilized. In fact, with the stabilization of the network and better quality of service, the consumption has increased. In fact, in Orissa, many places we have seen the consumption going up to 25%. And this has happened last summer also, and this we are seeing the trend in this summer also. So better availability of energy, better availability of electricity is leading to huge demand. And Tata Power will benefit from all the new requirement of power that is coming in the country.
Dr. Sinha, Tata Power has been evolving into an integrated power company, and I mean, you had presence in power generation and transmission for a while with Discoms and even manufacturing coming in. Help me understand how was the performance in terms of the different businesses in FY24, and how different could it look in this current financial year, FY25?
So the FY24 are all our businesses, the main 3 business of generation, transmission, distribution, and renewables have stabilized. We saw excellent performance from our generation business, and they continue to improve every year in terms of availability and the operational parameters and efficiency that we're seeing. Similarly, in transmission, we see all our networks operating very well. a lot of capacity add takes place in Mumbai, where we keep on improving the network by enhancing the capacity, as also replacement of the old cables and the equipment. We also see the renewable businesses have started doing very well. The 4 gigawatt manufacturing facility has been set up. The modules plant is fully operational and has started supplying the modules. The cell plant will get operational next month. And we do expect that it will reach full capacity by September. So I think many of the things that we have done in last 12 months, the results will start showing in next 12 to 18 months. Also, the Odisha Discoms, there were initially a lot of pickup. In spite of that, Odisha Discoms have been making profit. We expect this profit to improve in the subsequent years. So I think what you would see is that the company in all its businesses have virtually stabilized and will only be improving by more capacity addition that will happen in renewable as well as in transmission and distribution. So we are quite gung-ho about the fact that we are on a track to grow very quickly in next year and subsequent years. And I think you will see excellent performance from Tata Power going forward.
It's good to hear the optimism in your voice, Dr. Sinha. It's nice to see a power utility head talking with optimism now, given the kind of stress the sector has seen in the last few years. Help me understand, you have an ambitious target of investing rupees 60,000 crores that you announced last year over the next 3 years. How much of that has happened? How much of that will happen in FY25? And in terms of the fundraising for that, what is the plan for that?
So let me tell you that in last 4 years, we have already invested 40,000 crores. In fact, last financial year, we invested 12,000 crores in various businesses. This financial year, FY25, we have a target to invest nearly 20,000 crores, out of which nearly 50% is in the renewable business. And the balance, of course, gets divided between our generation and hydro plants, where the pump hydro will start the construction activity, our transmission and distribution businesses, both in Mumbai and the new transmission lines, and the distribution business in Delhi, Mumbai, and Orissa, where new capital investment will be done to improve the network and technology. Similarly, our renewable projects, a lot of capacity additions are being planned. And also, we will be getting ready not only for those projects which get implemented in FY25, but also the various initial work that needs to be carried out for projects which will get implemented in FY26. So there is a very, very ambitious plan to invest 20,000 this year and 60,000 over a period of 4 years. And you would continue to see the same type of investment happening as we move forward year on year.
Dr. Sinha, I mean, the target is ambitious and you have been, consistently moving ahead. Just coming back to the financing part of it, because there's a very delicate balance that you have to maintain. You have a big debt sitting on the books. So where do we stand with respect to debt in the company right now? And with that, how are you planning to raise funds to finance this growth?
So if you would have seen our performance in last 4 years, from a debt equity of 3.5, we have now come to a debt equity of 1.1. Our net debt is only 38,000 crores, in spite of 40,000 crores that we have invested in last 4 years. And that means that we are generating very good EBITDA and cash in the company. It is used to a large extent to repay the old debt, as also to fund the capex. And of course, we continue to take some new debt for the new investment. And even with the new investment that we have planned, we will be in a very, very safe zone as far as the debt equity or the debt EBITDA is concerned. And typically for infrastructure projects, these are much higher. And our focus is that we generate more of the cash from the new investments that we make. so that it can cater to the future investment that is required for the growth of the company.
Dr. Sinha, you spoke briefly about the Odisha Discom, and there has been a quick turnaround in the operations there. From its performance in FY24, if we look at the year ahead, do you see a significant improvement there? Is there scope for more improvement, and would we see the bottom line growing further from those operations? And overall, what is the strategy on the Discom business?
So we have improved. We have been able to clean up a lot of things which were there regarding billing and collection. And that has helped us to now reach a level whereby you will see that for subsequent years, the profit will be substantially higher than what it was. And we do expect that the benefit of the new technology or the investment in the network and in customer service will get translated into better performance of the company going forward. So the best is yet to come. I think FY25 and FY26, we will see that we will much more improve than what we have done in the previous year.
And we are looking for more discoms like those in different regions. What is the strategy on that front?
Absolutely. I'm looking for all these states post-election. I do expect that multiple suppliers of electricity will happen. Also, some of the states might go for a similar model as in Orissa, the PPP model. And seeing the success and the turnaround that has happened and how it has benefited consumer, how it has benefited the governments which were earlier incurring losses in the running and operating this Discom. It becomes a win-win for everyone. And I do expect that out of these 27 states and the union territories which are not under private distribution arrangement, many of them will go for a similar arrangement. And we are very confident that the Tata Power will play a very, very significant role in this.
Dr. Sinha, I have to talk to you about your Mundra power plant. Right now, with the government imposing Section 11, the one benefit of this is that you are able to pass through all the additional costs that might be arising from generation in that unit. But going ahead, what is the long-term plan, and where do we stand with respect to the supplementary PPAs that you have to sign with the different states?
So as you have seen that the Mundra plant has been operating under Section 11, and it has been able to supply power to all the beneficiary states. And the power continues to be one of the lowest amongst the various procurement of power that is being done. So in merit order, it is still very efficient. And all the beneficiary states continue to schedule power from this. Even under Section 11. And that goes to prove that the Mundra plant is very, very efficient. And going forward, a solution has to be found, something which is similar to the Section 11 solution. We are under discussion, but as you know, the Section 11 has been extended till 15th October. And I'm sure at the right phase or right time, we'll be able to conclude an arrangement which is acceptable to all the sides.
But Dr. Sinha, this is the second year that we are operating under Section 11. Has this become the new normal? I mean, do you extend this to just be extended for probably subsequent periods as well?
Let's see. This is a call which the government has to take, because the government imposes Section 11. As far as we are concerned, the plant is always ready to operate, but it has to be cost reflective.
Fair enough. Dr. Sinha, your company, the way it's evolving now, you have the manufacturing bucket, and now you have the renewable bucket, and you have transmission and Discom. What is the long-term plan here? Are we at some stage looking at value unlocking in different businesses, or do you want to build this company going ahead as an integrated company? Help me understand, what are the value unlocking opportunities here?
So there is a lot of synergy. So when we talk of 4 gigawatt manufacturing, majority quantity will be used internally for our roof captive as well as utility scale and rooftop projects. and a very small quantity will be sold in the market. And that gives us a certainty in both in terms of the price as well as the quality of the panels or solar modules that will be supplied. The second is that all these are today bundled solutions that we are talking. So if today we have to give 24/7 renewable power, the pumped hydro comes from the generation business. The transmission and distribution knowledge of how to schedule power and how to supply so that you make it 24/7 comes from our distribution business. So I think we need to look at it in totality rather than looking them in silos or segmented wise. And I think this is the strength of Tata Power, that we are able to provide comprehensive solutions and not just standalone energy that can be produced and supplied. So this is the unique feature of Tata Power. And the type of domain knowledge and experience Tata Power brings, no one will be able to match that going forward.
But Mr. Sinha, in the renewable energy arm that you have raised funds there. But is there a plan on potential listing of that subsidiary at some stage?
Well, no, it is too premature. Let us first go ahead and implement all these projects, and we will be able to take a call at the right time. We need to fix this. I have a hard stop.
Sure. I'll just wrap up, and before we wrap up, one final question. The last 2 years we have seen the ministry move very fast in terms of acting when it comes to meeting the growing demand, and but with this election year and the year, and subsequently whatever happens, one has to wait and watch. In your view, for FY25, what would be the biggest challenge for Tata Power particularly and the power sector overall?
I would not say a challenge. It is our responsibility to generate maximum and supply efficiently and at the lowest cost to the consumer. And this is what, as a utility, we do, and we fully understand our responsibility to ensure that we are able to meet the requirement of the customers, whether they are in cities or they are in rural areas. And we stand committed to do that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sinha, and really pleasure talking to you as always. Stay tuned to Moneycontrol for more coverage on the earnings season. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachita.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha.